Always talking about I've been walking. And just got back 2 nights ago from Africa, where I was walking through all kinds of things. I imagine some of that will appear in e-letters. But nevertheless, everywhere I go, including in southern Africa, there are these value stream maps plastered on the wall. And yet what I see so often is that it is a tool seeking a purpose, a hammer looking for a nail. That this is typical. This one I found on a factory wall on a trip to Mexico. Beautiful map, blown up so everybody could see it on the left side of the factory door. But wait a minute, it was laminated, which gave me pause, a laminated map. And I looked at that map and realized that there was no name on it, that no one was responsible, that there was no date on it, that there was no statement of what the business issue was that caused them to draw this map. And there was no indication of when they would create the future state shown here, in which we've done all of these wonderful things, including take out a few people. I don't know whether that's wonderful, but that's a thing that happened. So I ask, and I'm always trying to get to the point. Muda is, or politeness is Muda, so I said, gee, why did you draw this map? By the way, the corporate brass from the U.S. had come down in the jet with me, and we were standing with the poor plant manager. And so I said, who was responsible for this map? No answer. Why was this map drawn? No answer. When is this going to be finished? There are no dates on any of this. No answer. And finally said, well, why did you do this? And the answer was because corporate told us to draw maps. Okay, does that sound familiar? Corporate told us to draw maps because we're a very advanced, sophisticated company, and everybody's drawing maps, so we will draw maps. Wow. And I must say I felt responsible. Now, where that poor plant manager is, he just told the truth. I guess he's looking for another job. But we don't want to wind up there. By the way, here's an alternative. This is a little example of insurance claims. Same situation in which I walked in, and they had their map. And I said, why did you draw this map? By the way, it's claims processing for funeral insurance, a product we hope we won't be needing soon. And the answer was we were stuck. Our business was stuck. It is cheerfully, happily, a low-growth industry, the funeral insurance industry. Death rates are falling. The life expectancy is going up, even with all the problems we've got out there. And in a North American economy, which doesn't have a lot more people, what they had was a completely stagnant business. And it occurred to them to ask what the customer thought about their product, and the customer's answer, the customer, by the way, being the funeral home that sells these policies, that the answer was it takes too long to process claims. We would sell your insurance if you could process claims quickly rather than in 28 days. And so then they had a reason to do value stream mapping, and this is the process. By the way, you will note if you look at it carefully, there are lots and lots of backflows. And all that red stuff is actually managers talking to customers about how to resequence claims in the queue because important customers get their claims expedited and unimportant customers get theirs put on the bottom of the stack in a system that supposedly is pure FIFO. So what they did was do a map and came up with a future state, which they implemented, and which, by the way, caused their sales to double. Which, by the way, also meant that because they had eliminated half of the effort, the same number of people could process twice as many claims, but they had not set out to reduce cost. That never had anything to do with this. What they did was go to the customer, say, what customer need are we not answering? It must be something about our process. Now let's go look at our process. And, of course, the difference between these two companies is that the latter company had a management that was actually thinking about customer problems and working backwards through the process and trying to figure out how to redeploy the people, rather than that first organization that had a management that was telling people, here are your objectives as a manager. One of your objectives is to draw maps. Please draw maps. And the results, of course, quite different.